Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Sara English. I'm Sarah, and I'm very happy you decided to spend some time with us today.
And I'm Mike. Whether you're relaxing after work, sitting on your sofa, walking outside, or listening before bed, we're really glad you're here.
We always imagine our listeners in different parts of the world, enjoying a quiet moment while practicing English naturally.
That's right. You don't need to study with a textbook every time. Sometimes the best learning happens when you simply listen to a friendly conversation.
Today's topic is something that everyone experiences every single day, but many people never talk about in English.
We are going to talk about your evening, and together we'll explore how to describe it naturally and confidently.
This episode is designed for B1 to B2 English learners, so our conversation will sound natural while still being clear and easy to follow.
Some expressions may be new, but don't worry if you don't understand every word immediately.
Just keep listening. Your understanding becomes stronger every time you hear English used in real conversations.
Before we begin, we'd like to ask you a simple question to think about while you listen.
Here it is. What does your perfect evening look like?
Maybe you already know the answer, or maybe you've never really thought about it before.
Perhaps your perfect evening is quiet and peaceful.
Or maybe it's full of friends, family, laughter, and good conversations.
Some people enjoy staying at home after a long day.
Others love going outside for a walk, meeting someone for coffee, or visiting their favorite restaurant.
There isn't one correct answer because every person relaxes in a different way.
And that's what makes today's topic interesting. Evening routines can tell us a lot about someone's lifestyle and personality.
When we learn to talk about our evenings, we also learn useful vocabulary for daily conversations.
These are the kinds of conversations you might have with coworkers, classmates, neighbors, or even new friends.
Someone may ask, "What do you usually do in the evenings?"
Or they might ask, "Did you have a nice evening yesterday?"
These questions are very common, so it's useful to answer them naturally.
Today, we'll practice exactly that, without making it feel like a grammar lesson.
Instead, we'll simply have a relaxed conversation together.
Sarah, can I ask you something?
Of course.
When you hear the word evening, what is the very first thing that comes to your mind?
That's a nice question. I immediately think about slowing down after a busy day.
So for you, evening means changing your pace.
Exactly. During the day, I often feel busy, but when evening arrives, everything becomes a little quieter.
I know that feeling. It's almost like your mind finally says, "Okay, now you can relax."
Yes, although sometimes life doesn't always allow that. Some evenings are still very busy.
That's true. People have different schedules.
Some people finish work late.
Others have evening classes.
Parents may spend the evening helping their children with homework.
Students may prepare for exams.
And some people work night shifts, so their evening looks completely different.
That's why we shouldn't assume everyone's evening is the same.
Exactly. But even when our schedules are different, we all have moments when we try to rest and prepare for tomorrow.
That's a nice way to describe it.
Mike, what does a normal evening look like for you?
Well, my evenings are usually quite simple.
I like simple.
After finishing work, I usually spend a few minutes putting everything away before I leave my desk.
That's a good habit because it helps you start the next day with a clean space.
Yes, I feel much calmer when everything is organized.
Then what happens?
When I get home, I usually change into comfortable clothes almost immediately.
I think many listeners can relate to that.
Wearing comfortable clothes somehow tells my brain that work is finished.
It's like a small signal that the busy part of the day is over.
Exactly.
After that, do you cook dinner?
Sometimes I cook something simple, and sometimes I prepare food that I already made earlier in the week.
Meal preparation can save a lot of time.
It really does, especially on busy weekdays.
What kinds of meals do you usually enjoy in the evening?
Nothing too heavy. I prefer something warm but fairly light.
That sounds comfortable.
Then I usually sit down without rushing.
Do you watch television while eating?
Not always. Sometimes I just enjoy the quiet.
That's becoming less common these days.
Yes, many of us automatically pick up our phones during every free moment.
I sometimes do that too.
Me too.
But I've noticed something interesting.
What is it?
When I spend even 10 minutes without looking at a screen, I actually feel more relaxed.
That's a really good observation.
My mind feels less busy.
I think our brains enjoy small moments of silence more than we realize.
I agree.
After dinner, do you usually stay active or do you rest?
It depends on the day.
Tell us more.
If the weather is pleasant, I enjoy taking a short walk around my neighborhood.
Walking in the evening has a very different feeling from walking in the morning.
Yes, the air often feels cooler and everything seems a little quieter.
There are fewer cars, fewer people, and somehow less pressure.
Exactly. I don't walk to exercise intensely,
So why do you walk?
mostly to think.
That's interesting.
During those 20 or 30 minutes, I often remember things that happened during the day.
Do you think about problems too?
Sometimes, but I try not to focus only on problems.
Then what do you think about?
I ask myself simple questions.
Such as?
Did something make me smile today?
That's a lovely question.
Did I learn something new?
Another good one.
Is there anything I want to do differently tomorrow?
Those questions don't sound stressful.
That's the idea. I don't want my evening to feel like another meeting or another task.
Instead, it's a quiet conversation with yourself.
Exactly.
I really like that idea.
And the nice thing is that anyone can do it.
You don't need special equipment.
You don't need expensive hobbies.
You only need a few quiet minutes.
Even if your evening is busy, you can still find a small, peaceful moment somewhere.
Maybe while making tea,
Maybe while looking out the window.
or while sitting on a balcony and enjoying the fresh air.
Those little moments often become the most memorable part of the day.
And I think that's one reason evenings are so special.
I think many people believe they need a perfect evening to feel happy, but real life is usually much more ordinary than that.
I agree. Most evenings are not exciting, and that's completely okay. In fact, ordinary evenings can become some of our favorite memories.
That's true. We often remember peaceful moments more than busy ones.
Exactly. A simple dinner, a good conversation, or even sitting quietly with a cup of tea can stay in your memory for a long time.
Mike, let me ask you another question. Do you usually make plans for your evenings, or do you just see what happens?
It depends on the day. During the week, I usually have a small routine because it helps me feel organized.
What kind of routine?
Nothing complicated. I finish work, prepare dinner, clean the kitchen, spend a little time reading, and then start getting ready for bed.
That sounds very balanced.
I try to keep it simple because if I plan too many things, I usually end up doing none of them.
I think many listeners know that feeling. Sometimes we create a long list for the evening after work.
Yes, we say, I'll exercise, study English, read a book, clean the house, answer emails, and organize my desk.
Then we arrive home feeling tired, and suddenly the sofa becomes the most attractive place in the world.
Exactly. The sofa somehow wins every competition.
So I've learned something important.
What's that?
Instead of planning 6 activities, I choose only one important thing.
That's a smart idea.
If I complete that one activity, I already feel successful.
And everything else becomes a bonus instead of a responsibility.
Yes, that small change has made my evenings much more enjoyable.
I like that approach because it removes unnecessary pressure.
Pressure can make even enjoyable activities feel like work.
That's especially true when learning English.
Absolutely.
Some learners think they must study for 2 hours every evening.
But if they feel tired, they often skip studying completely.
Instead, 10 or 15 minutes of focused practice can be enough.
Consistency is usually more valuable than long study sessions once a week.
Imagine listening to one English podcast while making dinner.
Or reading one page of an English book before sleeping.
Those small habits slowly become part of your daily life.
And after several months, you realize you've spent many hours practicing without feeling overwhelmed.
That's one reason we enjoy making these conversations.
We hope listeners can include them naturally in their evenings.
Maybe while washing dishes.
Maybe while driving home.
Maybe during a quiet evening walk.
English doesn't always have to sit at a desk with a notebook.
Sometimes English simply becomes part of your lifestyle.
Speaking of evenings, I have another question for you.
Go ahead.
Do you prefer spending evenings alone or with other people?
That's an interesting question because my answer changes depending on the week.
Really?
Yes, if I've spent the whole day talking with people, I often enjoy a quiet evening by myself.
That makes sense.
But if I've had a busy week with very little social time, I enjoy meeting a friend for dinner or coffee.
So you listen to what you need instead of following the same routine every day.
Exactly.
I think that's a healthy habit.
What about you?
I enjoy both, but I also like evenings with family.
What do you usually do together?
Sometimes we cook together instead of one person doing everything.
Cooking together can actually be a nice conversation time.
Yes, we talk about our day while preparing food.
Those conversations are often very natural,
Nobody is in a hurry.
and everyone finally has time to listen.
After dinner, we sometimes play a simple board game.
That's becoming popular again.
I think people are looking for activities that don't always involve screens.
I can understand that.
Screens are useful, but sometimes it's nice to look at real faces instead of another display.
Very true.
Of course, not every evening is relaxing.
That's important to mention.
Some evenings are stressful because unexpected things happen.
Maybe traffic is heavy.
Maybe someone gets home late.
Maybe dinner doesn't go as planned.
Or perhaps you're simply feeling tired after a difficult day.
Those evenings happen to everyone.
The important thing is not expecting every evening to be perfect.
Instead, we can ask ourselves one simple question.
Which question?
What would make this evening just a little better?
I like that because it feels realistic.
Maybe the answer is making your favorite drink.
Or listening to relaxing music.
Maybe it's taking a warm shower.
Or calling someone you haven't spoken to for a while.
Small choices can completely change the feeling of an evening.
I remember one evening when I felt very tired after work.
What happened?
I almost stayed home without doing anything.
But you changed your mind?
Yes, I decided to go outside for only 10 minutes.
Just 10 minutes?
That was my plan.
Did you come back after 10 minutes?
No, I ended up walking for nearly 40 minutes because I was enjoying it so much.
That's a great example.
The hardest part was simply opening the front door.
Many good habits begin exactly like that.
Once you start, continuing often becomes much easier.
That's true for exercise, reading, studying English, and many other activities.
Evening is also a wonderful time to reflect on the day.
Reflection means thinking calmly about your experiences.
Yes, not to criticize yourself, but to understand yourself better.
Sometimes people confuse reflection with worrying.
They're actually very different.
Worry repeats the same problems again and again.
Reflection helps you learn something useful.
For example, you might think, today I handled that conversation better than last week.
Or, tomorrow I'd like to be a little more patient.
Those thoughts help us grow.
Another evening habit that many people enjoy is reading.
Do you usually read paper books or digital books?
Mostly paper books because they help me stay away from my phone before sleeping.
That's a practical reason.
What about you?
I read both, depending on where I am.
What kinds of books do you enjoy in the evening?
Usually something calm. I don't want a story that makes my mind too busy right before bed.
I understand. Even the type of book can change the feeling of your evening.
Exactly.
We've talked about routines, relaxing, family, friends, walking, reading, and learning English.
All of these activities have one thing in common.
They help us finish the day with more intention instead of simply waiting for bedtime.
And that's an important difference.
An enjoyable evening isn't about doing something expensive or exciting every day.
It's about choosing small moments that help you feel peaceful, connected, and ready for tomorrow.
I think our listeners are probably comparing these ideas with their own evenings right now.
And maybe they're discovering one small habit they'd like to try themselves.
That's exactly what we hoped for.
We've shared many ideas about evening routines, but before we finish, let's spend a little time talking about useful English vocabulary that can help you describe your own evenings more naturally.
That's a great idea, because learning vocabulary becomes much easier when it connects to real life.
The first word is routine.
A routine is something you usually do in the same way or at the same time.
For example, you can say, "My evening routine starts with making a cup of tea."
Or, I changed my evening routine because I wanted to sleep better.
The next word is relax.
To relax means to become calm after work, study, or any stressful activity.
You could say, "I like to relax by listening to quiet music."
Or, reading helps me relax before I go to bed.
Another useful word is peaceful.
Peaceful describes a feeling of calm without noise, stress, or worry.
For example, "The park feels peaceful in the evening."
Or, I enjoy peaceful evenings at home.
Let's learn another word, unwind.
This is a very common expression in everyday English.
It means to slowly relax after a busy or stressful day.
You might hear someone say, "I need some time to unwind after work."
Or, "Watching a movie helps me unwind."
Another useful word is cozy.
Cozy describes a place or feeling that is warm, comfortable, and relaxing.
For example, my living room feels cozy on rainy evenings.
Or, "I love sitting in a cozy chair with a good book."
We also use the word reflect.
Reflect means to think carefully about your experiences.
You could say, "I like to reflect on my day before going to sleep."
Or, "Taking a walk gives me time to reflect."
Our next word is balance.
Balance means having the right amount of work, rest, and personal time.
You could say, "I'm trying to create a better balance between work and my personal life."
These words are useful because they appear in many everyday conversations.
Instead of memorizing them once, try using them when you talk about your own evening.
Even one sentence each day can help the vocabulary become part of your natural English.
Sarah, if someone asked you to describe your ideal evening in just a few sentences, what would you say?
That's a nice challenge. I would say that my ideal evening begins with finishing work without feeling rushed.
I like that beginning already.
Then I would prepare a simple dinner, enjoy it slowly, and spend some time talking with the people I care about.
That sounds very comfortable.
After that, I would probably read a few pages of a good book or listen to relaxing music.
And would you still take your evening walk?
If the weather was nice, definitely.
That really sounds like your perfect evening. What about you?
Mine would be quite similar, although I'd probably spend a little more time outside.
I expected that answer. I'd enjoy watching the sunset, walking through a quiet neighborhood, or sitting somewhere with a beautiful view.
I think many people forget how much nature can improve an ordinary evening.
Even a few trees or a small park can make a difference.
Sometimes we believe happiness always comes from big events.
But many happy moments are actually very simple.
A peaceful conversation,
A delicious meal,
fresh evening air,
a favorite song.
or hearing someone ask, "How was your day?" and truly listening to the answer.
Those moments don't usually appear in exciting movies, but they make everyday life meaningful.
I completely agree.
Before we finish, let's give our listeners a small English speaking activity.
Great idea.
Imagine someone asks you, "What do you usually do in the evening?"
Try answering with 3 or 4 complete sentences.
For example, you could say, I usually get home around 6 o'clock.
Then I prepare dinner and spend some time with my family.
Later, I read a book or practice English for 20 minutes.
Finally, I relax before going to bed.
That's all you need.
Don't worry about speaking quickly.
Focus on speaking clearly.
And don't worry if you make small mistakes.
Every conversation helps you become a more confident English speaker.
Another fun activity is to compare your evening with someone else's.
You can ask a friend, "What do you usually do after work?"
Or, what's your favorite way to spend an evening?
Real conversations like these help vocabulary stay in your memory much longer.
Because you're not only learning English.
You're using English to learn about real people.
That's one of the best parts of language learning.
Every new conversation opens the door to a different experience.
Before we say goodbye, we'd like you to think about one final question.
Ask yourself, what is one small thing I can do this evening to make tomorrow a little better?
Maybe it's preparing your clothes for the morning.
Maybe it's reading one page in English.
Maybe it's going to bed a little earlier.
Or maybe it's simply putting your phone away for 15 peaceful minutes.
Small choices often create big changes over time.
You don't need a perfect evening.
You only need an evening that helps you feel a little calmer, a little happier, and a little more prepared for tomorrow.
If today's conversation gave you a new idea or taught you a useful English expression, we'd love to hear from you.
Please write a comment and tell us about your evening routine.
You can write something simple like, "I'm your name from your country, and my favorite evening activity is..."
Every comment is another chance to practice your English, and we truly enjoy reading your stories from around the world.
Thank you for choosing to spend part of your evening with us today.
We hope this conversation helped you feel more confident talking about your daily life in English.
Keep listening, keep speaking, and remember that improving your English happens one conversation at a time.
Take care of yourself, enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you again very soon here on Talk Sara English.
Until next time, keep practicing, stay curious, and never stop enjoying your English learning journey. Goodbye, everyone.